Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. I want to be very honest with you guys. The topic on which I will be talking today, that is just a cover. Main objective was to wish you guys a very happy and heartiest wishes of the birth anniversary of Lord Hanuman. So guys, as you know that as per our lunar calendar calculation, so the full moon of the Chaitra month is celebrated as the birth of the Lord Hanuman. Like Lord Hanuman, who is immortal, who is with all of us in this world, so that means he is an immortal god. And guys, I always say this thing that different people have, and all the devotee of Lord Hanuman has different way of looking at the greatness of Lord Hanuman. Some see Lord Hanuman as the god of strength, which he is. Some worship Lord Hanuman for the protection. But if I were to say, I see, or if I have to describe Lord Hanuman in certain words, it will definitely be that Lord Hanuman invokes the traits and qualities of devotion and purpose in our life. And trust me, half of our problems will be solved if every morning you are waking up, you have a purpose to fulfill. You are devoted to a cause. And that is the only reason, guys, I say this thing, that whenever it comes down to the Dasha of Saturn, so as a remedy, all the astrologers recommend the worship of Lord Hanuman. But that is just undermining this extremely good combination. Like I would say that if you will worship Lord Hanuman with your heart and soul, that too at a time when Saturn is operating in your life, all what Saturn needs out of you is devotion, and the worship of Lord Hanuman invokes those qualities in you. And Saturn is the only planet which is capable of giving you lasting success. So that is the only reason, guys. So this was the starting introduction of this video, where I just wanted to wish all of my subscribers, all of my loving audience, heartiest blessings of the and the wishes of the birth anniversary of Lord Hanuman. Now we will shift to our topic. So guys, just because very soon on April 19th we will be having our solar eclipse. So as you know that whenever it comes down to the eclipses, they tend to remain a very sensitive energy or very cautionary energy to deal with. Like guys, like whenever I'm talking on those topics where I have a personal touch attached to it, so definitely I hold an authority and my own experiences to share. Like just because ever since Rahu and Ketu have transited to the Aries and the Libra, so like I'm a Aries Lagna. So even if I were to share my own experience of October 25th, last year, when this whole solar eclipse happened in the Libra sign, in the Swati Nakshatra. So that means that was a time when the eclipse energy was surrounded around the Ketu. Now definitely during this time on April 19th, it is going to be taking place, or it is chiefly the eclipse being caused by or contributed by the Rahu in the Ashwini Nakshatra. But during this time, guys, it's very sensitive, because even if it is taking place surrounding around the energy of Rahu, but it is taking place in the nakshatra of Ketu. So there are certain areas where we have to remain cautious, and in certain cases it can give you very sudden stupendous success as well. So all of that we will try to understand. Now guys, just because I brought this topic, so first let's try to understand that what were the planetary alignments when this eclipse, solar eclipse, took place on October 25th, surrounding around the Libra sign. So guys, as you can see the chart in your screen, so during that time definitely it is a new moon taking place with the involvement of nodes, which is causing the eclipse. But the good part during that time was that because at the time Libra was well supported because of the presence of its sign lord. Venus was well placed over there. Saturn was also in its strong dignity, and Mercury was also exalted. Not to overlook the fact that Jupiter was also aspecting this Mercury as well. So in a way, if we have to take into consideration, or we have to compare the energy where we are heading towards and comparing it with the last eclipse, at that point of time things were kind of still little supportive. Like, okay, this is a family channel, I cannot share my experiences pertaining to the matters of the 7th house, but I have some very surprising revelation which happened to me right close to a day of this eclipse. And also guys, one more thing which I want to say over here is that whatsoever have had been your experiences during that time, I'm still talking only about the last eclipse. Ketu energy has more to do with finishing up the pending karma. All those things where you have some unfinished business with people. This could be in the matters of business, this could be in the matters of love, this could be in the matters of relationship, because at the end of the day it happened in the Libra. But the saving grace was that it was still in the Swati Nakshatra, and Swati is considered as a very people pleasing, very savvy nakshatra. So if I were to share my own experiences, having this eclipse taking place in my 7th house, I actually got benefited because of the sudden unraveling of the events in the matters of my 7th house, which I cannot reveal right now on this channel. But now guys, coming to the energy of this upcoming solar eclipse. So guys, one thing which you have to understand is that whenever we are heading towards the energies of whether it's full moon, whether it's new moon, and specifically when eclipses are involved and when it is being caused by Rahu, there is always this potential of your actions creating some new chapter. Now this could be someone who have not expected any success, any opportunity. Suddenly opportunity can come to you. If in your chart your natal planets are supporting that, like you are definitely, your 8th house is in a strengthened state, because 8th house plays a very important role in giving some sudden opportunities. And in the Mahadasha, Antardasha, that house is also activated. Or let's say for example, you're already going through the Dasha of Rahu or of the Ketu or of the Lord of the Aries, which is Mars. So then in those kind of cases, if planets are well supporting this, then some sudden success can also come. The only reason why I'm kind of very keen in giving a cautionary sign or a word of caution to my subscribers, to all of you guys, is that because a lot many times what happen is that when it comes down to Rahu, Rahu is the planet which act as a instigator, which is always giving us this wheel of illusion. It is instilling this hope in us that if I will take a chance, I can make it. Now guys, the concern is that out of all the attributes attached to all the planets, individually, when we talk about leap of faith, when we talk about luck supporting you, omens supporting you, over there we cannot overlook the importance of Jupiter. And the good part over here is that, or I would say the vulnerable aspect is that during that time Jupiter is going to be crossing through a very sensitive Gandanta zone. Like I would say that just in a day or two, Jupiter will also enter the Aries sign. But the concern over here is that when this eclipse energies are going to be getting activated, and if your chart is making you very vulnerable towards reckless action, or acting like a very kind of driven by rage, if this is what your personality is, if this is what your actions have been all the time, and relying on the luck, if you will take that leap of faith, so suddenly getting entangled in problems, or suddenly getting centered around the controversy or fights, or giving rise to lot many confusion, misunderstanding, all that can happen. Because the concern over here is that the Lord of the Aries, where all of this planetary concentration is going to be taking place, Mars is in a state of agitation. Now guys, the concern over here is that this whole planetary concentration is taking place in the Aries, and the Lord of Aries, Mars, is right now transiting in a state of agitation. Now definitely at the time of this eclipse energy, Mars is going to be transiting in the sign of Mercury, and Mercury is transiting in the sign of Mars, kind of creating a Parivartan yoga or a exchange yoga, which can be considered as a saving grace. But even at the time when I uploaded this video on the transit of Mars, I explained this thing, that the exchange yogas and the Parivartan yoga or Vipreet Raj yoga can give you success, can safeguard you, but still, while going through the process or while going through those kind of circumstances, you still have to go through a lot of agitation, lot of resistance, lot of misunderstanding. You might gain out of that. This is how all the Vipreet Raj yoga manifest results. But the process to go through that, a lot many times is filled with misunderstanding. And guys, the rage which can be found in the Aries, that is incomparable. That too with the presence of like Rahu being over there, Sun, Moon, Mercury over there, and the Lord of the Aries being in a state of agitation. So the only reason why I am uploading this video is that close to the time when this energy is going to be getting generated, and let's say for example, if in your natal chart you're already going through some sensitive dashas, or at your workplace, wheresoever this Aries energy is falling in, let's say for example, if this energy is falling in your 10th house, that means close to a day before and a day after, while taking any important sudden decision, you have to remain very cautious, you have to remain very careful if it is taking place in your 11th house. But let's say for example, if you work in an industry where going viral, suddenly remaining lucky in the form of getting some opportunities, or if during that time you have to give any performances, or any of the concerns of suddenly going viral, or getting more and more followership, so all those people can still get benefited. So my concern over here is that, guys, let's say for example, all those houses of visibility, where when we talk about like first house, or we talk about like fifth house, or ninth house, eighth house only, if your 8th house is well supported and your dashas are running favorable, then in those cases it can actually give you good results. But the concern is that if your dashas are running very volatile, they are not very well supporting you. Over and above that, right now you are in that stage where, whether this is your personal life, whether it's your professional life, there's a lot of upheavals which you are currently facing, where you are currently going through lot many uncertainties, then you have to remain additionally cautious and careful. And yes guys, whenever we talk about this kind of energy which gets generated, so I would say that if you are falling very much on a vulnerable zone, like definitely in my case as well, it is going to be taking place in my first house, so that means I have to give attention to my health. And the Lord of the Aries, Mars, is transiting in the 3rd house, so while dealing with any of my friends or colleagues, or while doing any of the posting on social media, I have to remain very cautious, very careful. And definitely guys, reciting Hanuman Chalisa or recitation of Sundarkand can also be considered as a very good remedy in order to tackle this energy. And let's say for example, if this whole eclipse energy is taking place in your 8th house, so guys, major precautionary things which I want to advise are only for the Virgo Lagna and the Taurus Lagna, because guys, in your case it is going to be taking place in the 8th house and the 12th house. So definitely refrain from getting into any sort of controversy, involving in other people's gossip, or if in your line of work, like anything to do with the firearms, anything to do with the too much of the adventure, adrenaline rush, so then you have to remain additionally cautious and careful. But again guys, if you are working in that domain where like any of the secretive covert operation, research, exploration, then suddenly if your chart is supporting that, your dashas are supporting that, good results can also be anticipated. So yes guys, ultimately the main objective was to wish you guys all a very happy Hanuman Janmotsav, birth anniversary of Lord Hanuman. And this video was just a cover, or just to give you a word of caution before we will head close towards this energy of solar eclipse. Most likely in the next video I will try to give a customized insights for all the lagnas or all the moon signs as well. So yes guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.